would you celebrate me?
Because you're out fourth.
Just in time for first period.
I'm curious where you personally channel your witchy energy from. Are there like specific people that you look to that inspire you?
I've kind of been into this my whole life, not really casting spells, but just sort of, collecting crystals. And then, a lot of my mom's friends are witches, actually one of her best friends. And my great grandmother was a witch. So I've kind of been surrounded by it forever, but definitely being on this project and like meeting Lovie and Zoe, like they taught me a lot. And then, with Erin Fogel and Pam Grossman, like I learned so much more about witchcraft in depth. And I've added a lot more to my practice now.
I got into astrology because I was super in a really weird relationship, and all of my relationships, like even when I was in like 8th grade, I would always do like my synastry charts with them. So astrology was what kind of got me into the whole witchy world. And I guess my biggest like witch inspiration would have to be myself, and also like Elaine from The Love Witch, Madison Montgomery. Madison Montgomery is what made me really want to like get into the whole coven world, because she's from American Horror Story, and I just felt like I really connected with her. So yeah, myself, Madison Montgomery, and Elaine from The Love Witch.
Oh, great answers. Love that. Okay, let's go to Lovie. How about you? How do you channel your witchy energy?
Okay, so for this one, it was more so just me like identifying with like witch characteristics and what it means to be a witch. To me, that's like boundary setting. That's being like very confident in yourself and like very just reaffirming to self. So just doing witch-like things and traits, like character traits that like a lot of witches that I know, just I just like to embody those characteristics, because if I can do that, then that is what a witch is to me.
It's funny because it's like really these girls are what brought my witchy element out of me, which mirrors so much of what my character goes through as well. But I really had no idea what it meant to be a witch or how you even implement that to your everyday life. And like the second I had a chemistry read with these girls, like we've been talking about it, but Lovie had like these amazing pants with all these huge pockets. And at the end of the chemistry read, she like dug into her pants and pulled out a crystal the size of my head. I was like, whoa, these girls are on a next level. But I also really love following, because now I like bring it into my everyday. And someone who was actually a witch consultant on this movie, The Hood Witch, she's on Instagram. You can find her on Instagram. She's Zoey Luna. And I like follow her blogs and stuff every week. And she puts out horoscopes and like full moon rituals, and she's a really cool witch to follow and keep updated with.
Well, I have to be honest, I meditate. I'm a meditator, so I feel like that really grounds me. It's something that I'm really just dependent on in my own life, and I feel like that allows me to sort of just tune into what I really need to be focused on. So that's kind of my go-to. But red wine also with tuning into my witchy energy. So,
I think I use that too, now that you say that. Yeah, that's.
I must be a witch.
Well, David, that's funny. I was going to ask, has any of this rubbed off on you at all? Do you feel the witchy energy just being on set with everyone, or?
Certainly. Yeah. It was a female-centric set, Mm-hmm. And that was a different energy. It is a different energy.
I am curious too, something I remember reading about with the first film, which I love so much, The Craft from '96, was that they did have some experts on set in chanting and doing some of the chants and that sort of thing. There was a few different eerie occurrences, like with the scene on the beach and that sort of thing. I wondered if there was anything similar with this. Did we feel like we were tapping into something bigger?
Well, David and I are kind of bummed out about this. We didn't get to do any of that. Like, that's kind of up my alley too. I would have welcomed that. And I remember like they had started, the gals had like started, and then I I think David and I started maybe a week later, something like that. I don't know. And then I remember like, oh yeah, we had the ceremony, we had the crystal ceremony, we did this and that. And I'm like, wait a second. I want that.
Yeah, I think the witches had visa problems and they were gone by the time we got.
Wow, that even happens to witches, huh?
Yeah.
David, you had touched on Zoe and working with her, and I wondered, every coven does have their supreme, and if Zoe's the supreme, like how does she lead the set? I mean, what was it like to work with her?
Part of it was, Zoe had infused the four young leads with this sense of mission and importance, and that they were, yes, it's just a movie, and yes, it's just a witch movie, sure, but it's also, we're saying something important, and they were all on board, and they all had the kind of respect for the message without being preachy, but respect for what was underlying the movie. And that gave the set a certain kind of focus and energy that was really sweet and really good. But that comes from Zoe, and it comes from Zoe not only modeling that, but also picking the right actors to play in this world.
Well, exactly, David, you said that perfectly. Zoe really, this is a script that she felt compelled to reinterpret, a film that she felt compelled to reinterpret. So she did feel very strongly about the message, and she was so empowering to the girls. She was so encouraging. She was collaborative. And she was just, I've said this, but like she's just a really positive person. And she just has a very unique perspective on life, and she kind of reads between the lines. And it was really such a great experience getting to work with her, but also to see her walk through the process of making a film with really up and coming actresses.
Be careful, a lot of weirdos out here.
We are the weirdos, mister.